Thank you, Ann. All right, 1 o'clock, building project for search and rescue, EMT ambulance, 4-H extension, weed, mosquito. Submitted bids, report, review, decision. All right, do you gentlemen want to come on up and share with us your expertise? And for the record, Mike, I understand I missed a number on the steel bid, so if we could correct that so that the record is correct.
I'm sure it is correct in the minutes.
Perfect, thank you, Ann, never mind.
Okay. Well, Jeremy and I went over all the bids, and Nick and I went over all the bids, and what it comes out to be is we recommend Montana post frame for the building. They met all the requirements. It is a conventional stick frame built for $75,700. And then they had an additional $18,500 for overhead doors. I priced the same doors and they come out about the same price, so, as long as they're the insulated ones. So that's what I would recommend on the Montana Public for the building, for the storage building.
Do they list, they would erect the building to their employees would, right?
Yep.
And they list Davis-Bacon?
Yep,
Wages?
they have all the check-off lists in the back here. They can cover all their labor and prevailing wages, and then just the structural part of the building and the exterior.
Will they pay for the permits? Or will we pay for
I
that?
think they're paying for the permits.
Okay.
Let me look. They have signed, nope, local building permits.
Okay,
They take care of the building permits.
that includes that, okay.
And then the other person for the concrete, we only got one, which is Rock Hard Construction. For the building, for the foundation, the slab was $44,500, and for the modular, if that goes forward, $11,250. So, and that was a pretty fair bid on their square footage on for the slab. And it's a
Okay.
6-inch slab. I had to exclude two reasons, huh?
I'm sorry, they also hit the Davis-Bacon wages?
Yes.
Okay,
One, we have a little problem with the steel building. One, they didn't mail it in. We actually got it as a fax. It was supposed to be sealed bid and they couldn't make it in on time. But if the steel building, the actual price came up to $1,700. That's what when you read it, you read the 48,000 was the labor from Montana Structural Iron to put it together. Their building was $40,250 plus three different add-ons, which that's what came to a total of $106,700.
okay.
So that's kind of why they didn't really get in there.
Okay,
And then Townsend Electric, and they met all the electrical requirements that we asked for too. And it was in this packet too somewhere.
Davis-Bacon,
Yep,
thank you.
yeah, they had that listed too.
Okay,
So, yep, right here, 11,843.
and that's for both?
That was for both, for electrical hookup on the modular, and also the electrical hookup and all the wiring and lights in the storage building.
Okay. Would they have to do Davis-Bacon wages since they're part of the whole project, even though they're
Everybody
portion?
does.
Okay,
And they also did give a bid on Townsend Electric and Montana. The only one you have to get a bid bond from is the Jeremy.
Okay.
Which is Rock Hard, which is 10%. And I feel confident in all three of the bids to build the building.
so the Montana post frame or the steel they would actually erect the building with their staff.
Either way. But the
Okay.
steel building, they were supposed to be sealed bids, and that isn't, they didn't really get a sealed bid,
Okay.
so.
So if we were to go with Montana Post, their total building with doors was 94,200. And then concrete for total bill for both jobs is 55,750. Then Towns Electric of 11,843. So a total for the building and cement and electrical is 161,793.
Yep, but they were doing in-house on the site preparation, in finishing the interior, to save money on the building project, to try to keep it within the budget.
So nothing's done inside?
You know, we're gonna finish the inside.
Are you also doing the in-floor heat?
Yes,
Doing what?
in-floor heat. We'll do in-floor heat, do the zones, and we'll do that to save money from so that we can meet within the budget. We had planned on that from day one.
All right. So.
Do you also have with you the bid for the, overall general contractor
Yeah,
total? Can we get that total again too?
it's quite a bit. It was like 600 or something. It's- I looked it over and, and it was a steel building too.
647,200.
That was it.
What was it?
647,200.
And that was turnkey.
That was, yeah, that was everything in the electrical, concrete, finishing interior, all of
And was that the office building as well, or just the
Nope.
storage building?
it. Just the storage building.
Those bids are still all over the wall. I mean, we still don't know what we have for an actual figure yet on anything.
Well, I can
Have that much difference
I can have the
from a
whole
contract
thing.
640,000 down to one was like 48,000 or whatever it was there.
You're also filing for some general contractor fees there too, so.
So maybe for clarity's sake, to help with the confusion, what we can do is just take this piece by piece. We have the total for the general contract, we have the total for each piece, maybe we can just start and whittle it down from there. Whenever we're ready, I don't wanna rush anybody who's doing any thinking or figuring or that kind of thing.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
What was the modular building price that we were expecting?
It's like 142.
That was 167.
169, I think.
$169,472.
472.
And then what's the expected cost of materials for the finishing inside of the steel building that we're gonna do ourselves?
It was, we had that all figured out too. Nick and I did. Definitely the paperwork. I
the total, didn't we write down the total
Yeah, we
project?
total project came to, with the septic system, site preparation, finishing the interior, the heating system, we came up with 430. And that was with a $30,000 cushion.
Wow. It's pretty close to what your estimate was.
So also a $30,000 contingency in there?
Yes.
And where in the process, what stage are we gonna have the architect stamp on the plans? I mean, in terms of how,
Prior to the.
prior to the permits, right?
Permits, yes. They'll submit their engineering, and then we give them to WWC, and then WWC will look them over and stamp them, and so will, our architect.
So who is going to be submitting that? The owner, the builder of that building, of the,
It sounds like
whoever
that.
selected?
Yeah, they included in their bid that they would do the permitting.
Okay,
So I think once we stamp the plans, we'll give them back to them, and then they can go to the state building department and get their building permit.
but they're gonna produce plans and submit them, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What's the estimated, are you including your labor, your salary in
No,
your work on this project?
no,
We're not paying him any extra. No
No.
offense, Mike.
I know.
It'll just be a
I
salary.
can't really, I can't
What
really
about,
put
I mean, is there
money-
overtime associated
No,
with it?
I can't get overtime or anything on.
Okay.
No, I don't get prevailing wage.
I'm just saying in terms of, I wanna ensure that we're, I mean, there, whatever, when you're working on this, there's other things you're not doing, and so we just wanna ensure we understand. Like, cause Eric won't be working on this building, he'll be basically taking care of other things, or how do you intend to do that?
Well, we'll take care of, most of the building on the interior we'll work on is in our slowest time, and that's usually in late fall, winter. And then we have time to do that, because we usually have time for projects.
Okay.
And if you could, Mike, you renovated and revamped the entire sheriff's department.
We still have some left to do.
Explain to Corey how it worked when
No,
you guys were.
I saw it all in it.
Okay, so it's kind of the same thing, as we've already seen. We hired Mike and Eric for that building project work as their priority.
Well, yeah, well, our priority is actually the jail, but we usually have time in the winter to work on these things. A little bit of time. So,
All right.
I promise it won't get neglected.
So just a total for the office building, modular, and then unfinished, search and rescue is $331,265. Am I correct in that?
Sounds right.
Okay.
What is that for, Nick?
That's, just the building, unfinished, search and rescue building, storage, and the office building.
Did you say
Okay.
the number again?
$331,265.
So I'll leave you $100,000 for the remaining stuff the county will do, plus the contingency.
Billy, did you have a question?
Yeah, it's kind of one for Mike. I know he left his labor out. What would be your rough labor cost between you and Eric doing that? You know, because you can't really leave it out. It needs to be.
I don't know. Never put my labor cost or anything into here, because it is part of the county,
Yeah,
so I don't know how to reach that number.
it'd be more of a guesstimate of time.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, our labor costs are whatever the county wants us to do, so that's kind of how I don't look at it as our labor costs are too much included in it.
Still measured up as it was before. There's nothing concrete, it just
Okay,
muttered up.
so any further questions of Mike or Jeremy from the commission at this point? Any further need for figuring or drilling down?
We don't have any definite figures, what it amounts to. We got some guesses here and there and stuff.
So, were you gonna ask a question or make a statement, Nick?
No, I'm good right now.
Okay, so we have some questions from the other day, and I'm not sure that they're in this notebook, I think they are, that we really need to answer. And I think it kind of goes to, you know, what we have in front of us. Do we want to go with the general contractor doing the whole project at $647,200? Or do we want to use the owner's representative on this project? And that would be Mike. So I think that's the first question.
Well, either way, if they had 640, they probably figured that, that's pretty good figures. Too bad there wasn't some other figures there too, but you're still gonna be talking over 500,000.
I think you came in at 430, that's under 500,000.
That's some guesses.
Jeremy, can you explain for Commissioner Solifka how the bidding process works and how these companies, did they just give us guesses?
No, those are fixed bids. So if the county accepts those prices and awards the project, they're stuck with that.
Yeah, but they're still all over the wall. I mean, when you get the prices from, one price for framing that building is down as low as 48,000, up to a general at 640,000, you know, there's something really fouled up somewhere along the line.
Well, the 640,000 was a specific building that they bid on,
That's,
and
all right.
that's a general contractor. General contractor's always gonna be more expensive to do the project. That price seems high, but understand they are coming out of Great Falls. So there's mold costs to figure in, there's things like that. You know, I guess I didn't look at the whole bid to find out, you know, where their subs and stuff and things like that are coming from, but that's finished full price, so, they're still $200,000 over what, you know, what's being discussed as far as the.
Being discussed.
The separate.
Nothing in
sub-bids.
concrete though.
So, it's quite a bit higher. I don't expect if you were to rebid it, your general contractor prices are gonna be much less than that.
Well, and also in that, I think, also in that, that general contractor bid, that was for a metal building.
It
Yes.
was, so
So
you're
you're-
more costly for another building.
Yeah, so if we were to put it out to bid for a general contractor on the stick build, it would come down,
It will come down
yeah.
some, yes.
So to use that 647, we can't say
Yeah,
that,
and that's a finished steel.
that's
building, too.
yes,
It's
finished steel
inside the
building.
line yard, so.
So it's not a finished stick building, it's a steel building where the price is up.
You want to rebid it for a frame building?
Well, the question on hand is, do we wanna use the owner representative or a general contract? That's one decision I'm not ready to make yet, because I've not extinguished all my options. And I've been very open from this whole time of making sure I do all my homework. That is, and I've talked with Mike in depth about it many a times. We met Friday morning. That's the only question, out of all the questions, that's the only question I'm not ready to answer right now. Is whether to go with the owner representative or a general contractor.
So you want to table it?
Well, I'd like to go through the rest of the questions, because I feel that we can go forward. I don't think we can go forward with accepting one of these bids, even though, because we have to answer that question first and foremost. If we're gonna go general or owner representative. And that's gonna dictate a lot on the price of what we're gonna be paying. So, I don't mean to drag my feet, and I'm not looking for us to start World War III here again, but I have put a lot of thought, I'm just not ready to answer that question yet.
That's okay. Let's go on to the next one, and what we can answer, we answer, what we can't, we can't. it's not a big deal. Storage building, we have two options, we have a steel option, and we have a stick-built option. Do we want to decide at this point which we, prefer
I think
for
the,
starters?
I think the stick build would be the better way
Okay, I agree with that as well. And there's a slew of reasons, but I won't go into those, since we're in agreement. Franklin, do you?
Question on that, did this bid, what was, from Montana Post to Print, wasn't it a pole barn building?
to go.
No,
Nope, stick
stick.
build.
It was,
Yep.
okay, sorry.
Franklin, did you want to weigh in on that one? Do you prefer the steel to the stick?
Probably still.
Stick, all right, so we're unanimous. All right, I'm gonna throw a party.
So we're going with the stick, everybody.
All right. The next question is, and I'm gonna skip the next one, I'm gonna go to question number 5. The current search and rescue building. If we are gonna go with the stick, we are going to move search and rescue into the new building. So we do have the old search and rescue building that has issues for search and rescue that are not necessarily issues for a weed department or mosquito. Are we good with using the old search and rescue building for equipment storage, chemical storage, staging, for weed and mosquito?
Yeah, and I actually talked with Scott on that. There will be some things I think we need to look at to make it complete for him to use and utilize to its capability. But I think that'll be the best route to go.
All right.
There's
I
another
agree
cost
with
we
that.
have no idea on. If it's gonna be compatible for weed in the old building, I mean, still, nothing. Nothing definite.
Okay, well, that's a 2-1, I think, because I agree with you, Nick. I think that would work. And regardless of what we do, we still have to address the chemical storage. So, all right. So the last question then was modular or alternative for the extension, weed offices, and meeting training area.
I think the only question that I have on that is I don't think there's much discussion to have on this. If we're locked into that contract, then there's no discussion to be had because we're already locked into a contract. So, I mean, that's the only, in my point of view, and feel free to, correct me if I'm wrong, but if we're already having the signed contract, then I don't think there's much discussion to have on it. We're into it.
You and I sat with Corey and he looked it over. I can give it back to him, I'll give it back to him so he can look it over.
Yeah, the biggest thing is I don't wanna see us,
No, why didn't you just ask me for a copy of it instead of calling him up, I would give you a copy.
If it never comes out, anytime I try to get anything, I do.
All you gotta do is ask me. Never asked. I'd be more than happy to give you a copy.
so, I mean, I think that's the best, answer to that question has to be looked at that contract. And if we're already locked into it, then there's no sense of even meeting about that building anymore, because it's already a done deal.
Okay, so, yes
You
for now?
Well, yeah, I mean, contingency on the contract.
I'll give Corey a copy and I'll make you a copy.
All right. So, with that, correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, what I'm hearing is you'd kind of like to mull over and do some more research into the owner's representative before the hiring a general contractor for the whole project, and before you decide on accepting any of the bids that we got, you want to take the time to look into that option.
Yes.
And along with that, at the same time, we'd be reviewing the modular contract. Is this a problem to wait another, it would probably be, I'm gonna guess,
I to be honest with you, I wanna have an answer on this. I wanna be done with everything that I have for the July 11th commissioner meeting.
is that doable for you guys time-wise? Does that put us off too long? Does it still get us addressing what we need?
And the other reason why it's July 11th is because I'll be gone this whole, for a week, a little over a week, so. That just gives me plenty of time to exhaust all my investigation, so to speak. So I would like to have an answer for everybody by the July 11th, commissioner meeting.
Scott, did I see a hand? No,
Just checking.
okay, all right. So that's okay for these bids to
I think
wait
so,
until
just keep in
July
mind
11th?
that these contractors' schedules fill up for summer,
Fast.
so
Right.
this, you know, if you can do it sooner, probably better, but if not, then it is what it is, and we'll deal with it. I think there'll still be plenty of time this year to get it done, so.
Okay.
It's not something that has to be done by, you know, paving and things like that have to be done, you know, by the end of summer.
Right.
Something like this can be done in the fall,
Sure.
so, you know,
Okay.
I don't see too big issues with this.
Okay, I'm good with the 11th
Okay.
then. All right, so, can you let our people who put bids in know that we're kind of in a holding pattern until July 11th?
Sure.
And we'll get with them immediately after with our decision? All right, do you have any questions?
No, I do appreciate this meeting a lot better, so thank you.
Yeah. Allison, do you have anything, that you wanna bring up? And are you good with the plan?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like extension is much of the conversation right now, but I don't think I have anything to add. Apologize for being out of service last week.
No problem at all. Scott, are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Eric, are you good? I'm gonna actually put the label of search and rescue representative on your head.
Don't do that. But we're good, yeah.
All right. Dana? Okay.
I don't have a stake in this one.
You actually do, because you and Scott have some issues with overcrowding and use of staging area,
Yeah.
and shop space, and,
The way it is, I'm not worried about it.
all right, cool. I think we're good.
Awesome.
All right, we're tabled, we'll postpone till 11th, it'll be on the agenda. And thanks, gentlemen,
Thanks, Sean.
appreciate it. Hey,
Jeremy, sorry.
before you guys go, can we get started on, we probably can't get started on any sewage issues at this point. That's not a big deal though either.
No.
Okay,
No,
All
we're
right.
waiting for water, Mike's been doing the groundwater monitoring, and that won't be done until the end of the month anyway. So as soon as we got that, and then in July, we can get that DEQ comment responses turned back. I don't think it'll take long after that to get approval. I think that was the big issue, was the water, so.
okay, cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Eric, for stepping up on behalf of Search and Rescue.
No, that better not be shown anywhere.
Eric said.
Yeah, right.
I just got one issue, it's not related to this, but, how long when were you gonna be back, Nick?
I'll be back, I will be here for the meeting on the 27th.
Oh, okay, right. Sounds good. That's all I need to know.
All right, I would like to bring this up, if it's okay with you, next meeting,
Yep.
because I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
And then for Franklin, the 21st, you'll be gone, Nick. We're
Yes.
going to certify the election. They couldn't get it done with it has to be audited first, and then we
Yep.
certify. So it'll be at 8 o'clock in the morning on the 21st. I'd like to write that down. And that's all we'll do that day, so we won't have a meeting on the 20th.
21st.
That's the 21st, Tuesday, 8 AM, certify election. All right, is there anything else for this order?
Rancher told me they wanted to get on the agenda or have some information for for not meeting on the 20th, I guess for the next one then, on some road issues.
And the specifics for the agenda, what do they want?
Just some road issues, they'll bring them up when they're here.
Okay, the agenda is more specific than just road issues. You need to give me their names. You need to give me what the issues are, what they want to discuss, who they want there. I need some specifics. If you want to get that and give it to Michelle, that would be fine. But in order to be on the agenda, we need to know what it is we're gonna be discussing, not doing any
Well,
blind
road
sides.
issues is
Okay.
pretty blunt right there, but
All
I'll
right,
see.
I'm gonna ask
get some
Michelle
more
to get the same
from them.
information. As soon as you have that, we'll go ahead and get it on the agenda. But we need people's names for the start. Okay, anything else with the good of the order? All right, meeting's adjourned. We have a specific requirement for open meeting laws, Franklin, for the agenda. Just get the specifics, and we'll go ahead and get that taken care of. If they wanna call Michelle, that's fine too.